Okay, until now we've learned about some of the things that happened to the Jewish people on Tisha B'av. So we learned about the 5 things that happened on Tisha B'av. So now our Mishnah turns to some of the halachot of mourning that the Mishnah prescribes as practice to commemorate that Avelut. We're on Taanit Perek Daled Mishnah Zayin, 7th Mishnah in the 4th and last chapter of Masechet Taanit. Says the Mishnah, Shabbat shachal Tisha B'av liot betocha. Shabbat means the week that Tisha B'av falls in, meaning the Shavua shachal bo, asur milisaper umilichabes. You're prohibited from lisaper, taking haircuts, umilchabes, washing one's clothing. Ubechamishi mutarim mipnei kavod Shabbat. And on Thursday, one is permitted because of kavod Shabbat. Now let's refer to what this is talking about. The Bartunura says, Ubechamishi mutarim, kshayu mekadshim et pi al pi ha'ri'iyah, when they would do kiddush hachodesh based on the sighting of the moon. V'chal Tisha B'av liot erev Shabbat, and Tisha B'av was on erev Shabbat. Then mutarim lechabes v'chamishi, meaning if Tisha B'av is on erev Shabbat on Friday, they would allow them rak lechabes, only to wash one's clothes, not to take haircuts. So he limits the permissibility only to kibbutz. So he says back when they had Tisha B'av on Friday, so you wouldn't be able to prepare for Shabbat at all. In that case, they said you were allowed to wash your clothes because of kavod Shabbat. And also remember back then, they only had 1-2 pairs of clothes at the most. Erev Tisha B'av. On Erev Tisha B'av, lo yochal adam shnei tafshilin. A person shouldn't eat 2 tafshilin, i.e. 2 cooked foods. Moreover, lo yochal basar v'lo yishtayayin. Nor should he eat meat, nor should he drink wine. Now these shnei tafshilin, cooked foods, are talking about what's called the seudah hamafseket, the final meal. Okay, the Bartunura says, okay, hani mili achar chatzot hayom. We're talking about after chatzot. Uba seudah hamafseket, in the final meal. She'ein da'ato le'achol acharei seudat keva. You're not going to eat any more meals after it. Ideally, halachically, if you look at the halachic sources, the seudah hamafseket, the final meal, should be 1 cooked food. It should be a meal of a simpler meal, a more straightforward meal. Many people have the practice of eating a whole meal, and then afterwards you stop, and then you have another seudah of a cooked egg, of a hard-boiled egg with with ashes. But you can see from the Mishnah that the seudah mafseket was supposed to be not a festive. That was supposed to be the final meal. Aval kodem chatzi hayom, but before midday, afilu b'seudah mafseket. Even if you're eating your final meal, I don't know who has a final meal before noon. Oh, b'seudah she'ena mafseket afilu achar chatzi hayom. But if you have another meal, not the seudah mafseket afternoon, shari le'achol shnei tafshilin. You can't eat both 2 cooked foods. U'bebasar v'yayin. And you can either eat meat and drink wine. So their practice in the Mishnah, all they do, they don't eat meat and drink wine, only in the seudah mafseket. Whereas nowadays, we don't even do that during the entire 9 days from Rosh Chodesh. We're much more machmir. The practices of mourning have taken on much, much greater stringencies through the development of time. Rabban Shimon Gamliel Omer Yishaneh. Rabban Shimon Gamliel says, Yishaneh, you should just change your practice. Let's go down and see what he's saying. If you usually eat 2, you should eat 1. If you drink 2 cups of wine, drink 1. I.e., you're supposed to minimize your celebration, your enjoyment on an Erev Tisha B'av. But you don't have to stop it entirely. You just have to change. And then we have a similar practice. If you have a big pillow, 2 pillows, you're supposed to do 1 pillow at night. We do sort of incorporate Rabbi Shimon Gamliel's ideas in our practice of Tisha B'av. Rabbi Yehuda said they had to turn over their beds. They had this couch that they would sleep on. They would turn it over and turn it on its side and sleep on the ground like they were actually in Avelut. But the Chacham did not agree, and we don't paskin like that opinion. We'll dedicate our learning to memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman, and we'll stop here. Have a good day.